Hello everybody, it's Sarah, and first of all, I am sorry for not uploading in such a long time again. I don't really have any excuse except being very lazy. And then I'm also sorry if you hear any noises. That's because it's like way too hot for me right now and I have all my windows open because otherwise I would die of the heat. So there might be some noises from cars or from people because I live right next to a park and stuff like that. And if you hear that, I am very sorry. So today I am filming a video that I actually filmed once already, but that was at the very beginning of my channel and no one should ever watch those videos because they're cringy. But yeah, since it's Mother's Day today, at least in Austria, I wanted to film another video of my favorite mothers. I can't remember exactly which mothers I used in the first video. I'm pretty sure that most of the mothers I will mention now will still be the same. But they deserve another mention because they're just that amazing. Also, as you all know, I mostly read fantasy, high fantasy, YA fantasy. And as we all have noticed and as we all know, there is a severe lack in good mothers in that genre, in those genres. For some reason they all either end up dead or are horrible people, or they are both. So there's not that much choice out there. So in the last 2 years I have not really read any books, I think, that had any mothers worth mentioning. So yeah, if you've seen my first video, here's a refresher who my favorite mothers are and why they are my favorite mothers. And if you haven't seen that video, just watch this one. I promise it'll be much less cringy. First, I have a character from a YA book who isn't technically a mom in her own right. She doesn't have her own children, but she's definitely a very motherly character, and that is Charlet Branwell from The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. Charlet is pretty young, she's like in her early 20s, but I still think that she is a major mother figure, if not the mother figure for a lot of the teenage characters in this series. Definitely for Will and Jem, also for Jessamine, and also to a certain extent for Tessa. Of course, she's also a friend to all of them, but especially in the case of Will, Jem and Jessamine, she basically brought them up. All of them came to the Institute quite early, I think in their early teens. So for a big part it was Charlet who formed the morals and who made them into the people they would become later on. And I just think that it's really amazing how she can run an institute and at the same time be such a young person. I think she was like 18 or something when she took over the institute, and she took over the responsibilities of teaching those children and of showing them love and everything, and it definitely wasn't always easy, and I think for that she deserves a mention on this list. Second, I have a kind of controversial mother figure, I think, and that is Marla Wolfsblade from The Highroom Chronicles by Jennifer Fallon. So the thing about this is, she is not technically a loving mom in the way that she shows her children a lot of love. She is in the middle of intrigues and politics and just fears for her life basically every day. So I think she deserves a space on this list because even though she might not have shown her children the most love, she definitely loved them. And she taught them how to survive with intrigues and politics, and she would basically do everything for her children and everything to keep them safe, everything to see her son on the throne, but not necessarily because she's just that ambitious, but just because she knows it's the only way her children will survive, is if one of them sits on the throne and if they keep their power. So she is one fierce mom who deserves a spot on this list, even though it's not that obvious. Next is another one of my all-time favorite moms, and it's quite funny because I thought her character was very annoying at the beginning of the series. I did not like her at all in the TV show, But as the series progressed, she turned into one of my favorite characters of all time, and definitely one of my favorite characters in that series. And that is Catelyn Stark from the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. Still waiting for the 6th book, by the way. Still haven't continued the TV show past the 5th season, the 6th season, I'm not sure. The season that stops where the books stop anyway. She is definitely a loving mom. She loves all her children dearly. Again, she is a mother who will not stop at anything to protect them. And it's just, I mean, I guess you could say she's a kind of bad mom because she loses most of her children. So maybe she's a bit careless, but at the same time she is unlike her husband in the way that she will do even unhonorable things if it protects her children. And I think that's something every mom should have. I think that's something every fantasy mom should have, because we know generally what happens with honorable people in fantasy books, especially epic fantasy books, especially A Song of Ice and Fire. And so yeah, I think she deserves a spot on this list because I know a few fantasy moms who love their children as dearly as Catelyn loves hers. Okay, next, and I am very sorry that I have to talk about this series again, but that's because Anne Bishop literally writes the best moms ever. She has moms in all of her series. She has main characters that are moms, and she just, like, she has strong mom, she has weak mom, she has horrible mom, she has every type of mom that you can find out there in all of her series combined. But the one that I want to talk about, the one that I still think to this day is the best mom out there ever, and who is one of my favorite characters of all times, is Thyrsa. And the reason why I love her so much is that Thyrsa, to say it the easy way, is crazy. She's insane. She is caught in what is called the Twisted Kingdom, which basically means that she can't always differentiate between reality and what's in her mind. She sees everything as if she sees it through broken glass, through a broken mirror. And so it's not always easy to just follow when others talk. It's not always easy to say what she thinks. She doesn't always know everyday life. She often forgets to eat. She forgets to take care of herself, and so on and so on. But even though all of that is the case, she managed to give her son all the love he deserves, even though he didn't even know he was her son. She managed to also give her son's half-brother all the love he deserved, even though his own mother didn't want him. And so ended up having kind of two sons. She didn't really bring them up because, of course, she's crazy, she's insane. She wasn't really capable of properly giving them a home, but that was also because of other circumstances. No matter, even though her son didn't know she was her mother throughout most of his life and throughout most of the time that he interacted with her and met her and everything, she still gave him all the love. She tried teaching him what she knows and her way of honor and everything as much as she could, and it just makes her such a wonderful, wonderful person. And she just loves her little boy so much, and it's crazy and it's amazing, and she deserves the #1 spot on this list, definitely, for all time. And yeah, so yeah, that was it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Tell me down below of your favorite fictional moms. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please maybe give it a thumbs up or subscribe. All the links to my social media, as always, are in the description box down below as well, so go and check those out, and I hope I see you soon. Bye!